And welcome back to Opally Hour, and we are on day 3 of our Time Old Valley build. Sorry about yesterday being so long, but let's get straight on with today. And we are working on the student photo studio, I think it was. Okay, it was youth photo studio. I knew it was something like that. All right, first things first, we're going to stick this piece onto this piece of paper, and we are going to take out that one with the number 3 at the bottom here. So let me get and do that. I don't actually see we're going to be using this anytime soon, so I'm going to just put it to one side instead of cutting out number 3, just so we've got it all together. Okay, but we will need for this, we're going to make a cylinder. We're going to need the cylinder towel from this fabric, so we're just going to cut that one piece out, and also the actual cylinder from this piece. So I'm going to get and do those. Alright, very straightforward. We will be needing one of the pieces in my pot here. We'll be needing, when I can get it out, this piece, and basically the corrugated paper, this one, is going to wrap around it like so. You would have thought it would be a bit bigger, so unless this is the wrong piece. Let me go and check on that. No, it's the right piece, it just doesn't want to go all the way around. Let's see if I can bend it a bit better. Because this is quite the fold there rather than a circle. Maybe I should have done that first, than wrapping it around it. Let's see if that's any better. And we will use B7000 for this. Gonna be one of those sorts of days. Okay, that fits a bit better. It's not all the way around, but it's closer. Okay, just hold that in place a second. Alright, and that's what we ended up with, so it didn't end up too bad. Just held it together for a bit. Then with this, it's a towel, so we are folding it on the wrong side. So we're going to fold it in half and then half again, I believe. I think that's what I can make out from the instructions. This stuff frays, just so we know. It's going to go there because that's where it wants to go. Right, let's line it a bit better now. Okay, and then in half again. And then that goes on top of the barrel that we just made. What's it called? It's not called a barrel. It's called a... let's see. Oh, they don't name it. Okay, it's going to go on there anyway. Now I'm really trying to see if it does. Anyway, it goes like this, and it's called a towel. Which side should we put it on? Side that's got a little bit left over, I think. I didn't think it was going to be long enough, but it actually fit pretty perfect. So I'm going to have it that the layers show a bit more to the front, and the fray bit, that's very free, is more to the end, and that's that piece done for now. Won't be using that for a little bit. Next we are going to be moving on to 2 other fabrics that need cutting. So we are going to be cutting this one, big one here, and we are going to be cutting this one, the little green. So this one we need 2 pieces of 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters square, which is interesting because they show rectangular. Interesting. But that's what it shows. And then this one down here, the green one, we need 2.2 by 5 centimeters, and that does show reasonably the right size there. So I'm going to get those cut. Alright, so that's done. We also needed a 2cm by 2cm. Can't remember if I gave you the correct measurement for this. It's 1.3 by 3.5, and we don't need this, so this is going to go into the area that I reserve things. It's for later. So what we're going to do is we start off by folding all of these on the wrong side with just a little bit over on the edge of all of them. And that's what we're going to start to do, and then we pleat them. So let me get that done. Okay, so once they're pleated, they have to be, not as happy with this one because it kind of doesn't look as good, but anyway, 0.7 for the green one. No idea when we use it. Actually, I was going to put it in my pots of things we will need later. Oh, that's just come undone. And then these two, which don't have to be as folded because we're about to do some ties at the bottom with some wire, which we need to be 3 centimeters each. Where's my thingy's gone? There it is. Go here. How's your day going, guys? Hopefully it is a nice relaxing day. Or maybe you've come here for relaxation? Question? Maybe. I don't know. I used to watch a lot of these videos quite later in the day, and found them quite soothing, depending on what they were. Right, so what we're going to do is just tie these around about the midway point. A bit lower, and just tie them around when I can. Oh, it's a bit windy, so things are blowing everywhere. Probably should close the window, huh? Or at least the one near here. Okay. A bit tighter, I think. Something like that. And then I'll trim it. No idea when we need these, by the way, guys. Anyway, I'm just going to put that to one side. I'm going to hold it in like so. And it's green wire if you're making this from scratch and not using a kit. It's easier with a kit because it has all the materials, but if you're not doing it with a kit, you have more choice of different colours and things like that, I would think. But some of it would be quite difficult to replicate, I feel. I don't know. Talking rubbish. I have no idea. Haven't done it without a kit. I need to do like a scenery for, I have some miniature houses. Haven't done one for a while. My sister tends to buy them for me for like my birthday, so when my next birthday is, and my niece bought me one actually as well. I think she bought it for Christmas for me. And so they're like tiny miniature houses, very small, quite a bit of detail for how small they are. But I've got an area in my lounge which has something called a hosier, which traditionally is in a kitchen. Very old, it belonged to my grandmother, and so I've been sorting that, and the shelves there, which have Snoopy sitting on them right now as well. I want to make into some sort of scenery. Right, let me get this done. Obviously I'm struggling, talking too much. Alright, like that. And then what we have to do is put 2 flowers in here, and you've seen me do that, one red and one green, and then put this bead, which is slowly coming in, on top of the saucer here, which looks a bit big for it, but that is what it's meant to do. It looks more pearl colour in their photos, but I am using what they say to, so we should be good. So I'm going to get on and do both of those, and I'll show you afterwards. Alright, so we've made these 2 plants. This one we will be using, this one we won't. This is done. The curtains are done. I'm not going to trim those wires off until we fit them. And I don't know when that's going to be, so they can go in the pot of little odds and ends. This isn't quite dry. The green one can go over there too. And we are going to do a wardrobe, because we are doing a youth photo studio. I don't know. And we have a little picture to put on this, which is kind of cute. Not sure what it's of. Let's have a look. See if we can see. Okay, I have 2 students. Alright. A young couple. Alright, so let's get these on. So we need 3 of these beads. So first of all, we will do this front, which includes the beads. So we need 3 of these and 2 doorknobs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get these on first. We will need to cut these. Scissors will work. Not sure why I've got those out. I have a tool to do it. It's like I know scissors work just fine on these. Okay, you landed there. You can stay there. So, that didn't land anywhere. So you need 3 of these. It's the same stuff we used for the light yesterday. Okay, get you up. So we just want them roughly in the middle underneath each other, like so. It's pretty even. Then 2 little button things for the doorknobs. And this is classed the wardrobe. They don't have any hanging space really, do they? Must be for a guy where it's all about drawers, no dresses. Well, that's kind of sexist, isn't it, really? Because I have to be honest with you, I haven't worn a dress in years. I don't need hanging space either. So, alright, and that's done. And then we have these 3 pieces to put onto it. So let's turn that around. We just need it to stand up for a second. Oh, hopefully I don't move anything. Okay, we look good. And we put on a little pearl looking thing here. Our flower and a picture, and that's the wardrobe done. And we finish with this page 11. So slowly getting there, slowly but surely. Let's put, it wants to fall over anyway, let's put the flower on first. And this, I reckon I was meant to use a smaller bead for that. That's what I think. I think I got my beads confused. Sweet. All sticking to me. Cleaned my tweezers as well, believe it or not. Gonna have to get out more. I keep saying it as well. Just get out more tweezers, and then I can wait for some to dry, because I'm sure I clean them when they're still wet, and that's why we have the problems we do. And this is kind of okay. A bit more in would be good. So it looks something like that, and then all we have to do is the picture. Let's see if my tweezers will let this go. And it's at a slight angle. Okay. The tweezers. I should do a short just about my tweezer trouble. Okay. And that's what we end up looking like. So that's the wardrobe complete, and page 11 we will be moving on. Okay, and we are going to be making some coat hangers. So it's getting us to make 2, but I know we need at least 3, so I'm going to knock those out. So you need 7 centimeters of wire. Like I say, it's planning that you need just 2 to make 2 of these, but it is not the case. So 7 centimeters 3 times, because I'm going to make the other one at the same time. We will see how we do. Not holding up 100% of hope on this. But remember those things we put on the denim and the white shirt, then it's for those. And the towel that we cut out last time out of the white. So last one. Just going to make 3 and get them out of the way. It can go in my little pot of bits and pieces when they are, I was going to say dry, but I don't know that it's going to particularly need drying. Okay, so let's get these. Let's get these two. I put that straight in the glue I had. Did the flowers, so I put in some glue on the paper. I thought that might be easier to dip the flowers in. Okay, so first of all, we want a little hook, like so, and then a diagonal, I guess, from the hook. I think these are going to be too big. Something like so, and then fold it around on itself, and then back up. Oops, maybe a bit more, like something like that, and then squish it into place. Trying to think, when I've seen wire hangers before, I think they are wrapped around at the top, like so. Been a while since I've seen any. Most people don't use wire ones anymore, do they? And squish this one too. Oh, too squished. Rather squishing in the wrong place, probably more to the point. So, something like that. And then we would cut off the end. I think I'm going to wrap it one more time and then cut it off. Let me come back to you when I've done all 3. Okay, that's my 3. So you can see that they actually did provide a template, and every single one of them is a lot bigger than the template, and I'm not going to worry too much. So for now we are going to need 2 of them, so I'm going to put the other one in odds and ends. We are going to need our little white towel that we cut out yesterday, and we need to cut out our little denim jacket. So I'm going to get and do the denim jacket and come back when that is done. Alright, and this is what we have. Let's bring in the other one into shot. So there is a right way and a wrong way. So this is the wrong side down. No, it was the right side down. So turn that over, and you want to stick your coat hanger onto it, and then you are going to put the 2 front pieces on with the fabric on the right way. Let's try and get them through the armholes if you can tell where they are. Okay, sort that out in a second. And then the other coat hanger will have that towel, and those will be done. So this one goes to the right side. Get those tweezers. Like so. Almost took me back to my sewing days. I haven't done sewing in donkey years. Used to do a lot of it when my younger children, my older children, sorry, were little. I used to do a lot of it then. Okay, don't try and move it before it's ready. Okay, let me go. Let everything go. Put the nail in it again. So something like that. I'm just going to leave that on the paper to dry, and then put the towel through here. So you want it flat at the back, it says, and then at an angle on the front, going away from it like that. So let's get that stuck up down. sure that B4000 is best for fabric, really, in reality, but it's what I am using. And then over and hold that a second, and that will be those done. Again, not going to be using them straight away, not even sure when. So this one we can pick up, it appears, and I'm just going to put that to the side to dry where the wardrobe is, and I'm going to leave the jean jacket where it is because it didn't want to move anyway. Oh dear, won't let go of me, guys, won't let go. Alright, and this is what they look like. So let me go and we are actually building the first floor now, so let me get that. I'd like to try and get the second floor done, at least then we can use some of these items, but let's see how we go with the first floor. Alright, got quite a few parts to prepare. We have some stairs to make, 2 pieces of wood to join together, and glue on this piece on the side and then this piece on the top. So I'm just going to do my normal way for that. We reckon that's the right piece. Oh, I guess it goes down the side too. Okay, so I will get that done. We also have, you can't see this at all because my arm's in the way, this piece to do. Just don't cut off the sides. In fact, I'll probably just cut that with some scissors, but the rest I will cut out. Then we have to stick this onto here, and we'll be cutting that out, and that's like some paper. It's kind of cool. Stick this onto there, which will be able to do easy enough, and these 2 little ones on each of the doors. There's 2 doors, and none of the furniture goes in this section, but it does get a section done. So let me get on with that. Right, I I put these 2 pieces on, so this is kind of dry now, so it's still a bit wet. Put these 2 pieces on. I can't read Japanese or Chinese, whichever it is, so I apologise if I've got them upside down, but I use the line here as my gauge to put it roughly even. Alright, I am going to let everything dry, and then we'll get this together, and that will complete the youth photo studio ground floor, or first floor as it said, but depends where you are. And then we can stick everything in, all the doors and windows and steps and everything like that, so that we can get it done. So I will leave you for a few seconds, show you Juliet and the egg box, the continuing egg box thing, and because just to get your daily dose of my little Juliet. Alright, I'll see you in a moment. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Right, let's get this put together. So we're going to squeeze in our window, if I can grab hold of it. And you want the smaller panes to be towards the top. And this is the bottom of the door. I know I wanted to think that this was the bottom, but it's not. It's the bigger gap. So let's make sure that we get that in the right way. It probably doesn't need that much glue. I'm just using wood glue on here. If I can get it on the edge. I seem to want to put it everywhere else. Of course that went straight on my hands. Okay. And you want it in like here. Like so. So you can't see through that window because there's no furniture whatsoever on this floor. Okay. And then we are going to turn it over, so it looks like so. Looks alright, doesn't it? And then we are going to put our stairs on. And the other window we don't need for this. So we want to put our steps on. So it's outside the door, so you want it lined up with this edge and the bottom here. And that's going to need a minute, and then we can put our doors on, which has this one closed, the right one closed, and the left one, so I can take this off, don't need that, the left one ajar. Of course it's up to you really how you design it, but I try and stick to their ideas. And then you have the doors, and I think it has like a little cherub on here, looks like it to me, So, of course I knock it over. Let's go get that up again then. So I can see it's not quite square there, and that's okay because it's done with wood glue, which means we have a little bit of movement, so it's not too bad. And then we will put on, we have this to put on, so I'll shove that on while we're waiting for everything to dry. Actually, we'll put the doors on first, otherwise it'd be almost impossible. So just make sure your little cherubs are upright, so they kind of have almost a matching pair, maybe. Which way? Maybe that way, around. I think that would be best. So I'm going to make this one close like they have. Down here. Which would have been easier to have done with the before I put the steps on, but hey, what do you do? Oops. And then the other one I'll have a jar like they have. They do like their doors ajar. I think most models where there's ever, sorry, dog's going past, let me pause you a second. It's a very anxious dog that walks around our area, so it likes to make quite a lot of noise. So did I put that the right way? Yes, I did, and then held it the wrong way. So I'm just going to have it go a little bit on the inside because we're going to be putting a stair banister type thing up, and that's nowhere near the hole of the door. Oops, that one was going inward. So something like so. Let me get that a bit better as I knock it totally out, and then we can put it to dry. So I'm going to get my banister on and then we can put it to dry. Okay, dog's gone the other way now. Okay. Okay, and put that on like so. Bit over a bit more. There's nothing falling off the other end, but it does if you suddenly come out the door. It'd probably be easier if I actually use tweezers on this. Knock my door out again. Really knock my door out now. Okay, and then let's see what time we have. Alright, so I think we're pretty much going to put this in place for finish up. So we are going to be needing the number 2 and 3 from this bottom, which I've already cut out down here. So first things first, we are going to put this in place next to our other building. The number 3 is going to go over this door, and the number 2 by the side of this one, from what I can tell. Yeah, one's over the door, one's beside the door, about here. So let's get this in place, and it's going to go next to this other one, so we can wood glue it to attach it to it. So we didn't really need glue on one of the sides, but we do. We have it on there now, and this get this piece a bit straighter too. So let's put that in like so, and then we can fold this in a bit more. I'm just going to hold that for a little bit while it takes. Okay, and then we put these numbers on. So the first one needs to go above this door. I'm just going to use some B7000 for precision. You can't even see that. I'm going above this door here, and the other one just by the side up here. So it's house numbers. There we go. Now I know what it's for. And let's get number 3 in the right spot. Hang on, I didn't even know why we needed to cut the other one out, but when I looked better at the pictures, I could see that that's what I was meant to have done. Okay, and number 2 on this spot here. This one's a bit easier to see because you've got the lines to judge. Shaking hands. Okay, and that's what we have for today. So we have made, let's see, so we've done this. So we've put in the bottom. Tomorrow we'll be able to get the rest. Let me move the camera a bit. There we go. Put something behind it to support it. Not that, obviously. Hold on. Alright, so we've completed this. We also did a cylinder of some sort with a towel on it. We did, I can't see any of this, cylinder with a towel on it. We did some coat hangers with various things, including a jean jacket down there. Get you out of it. Then we have a window ready for, I'm guessing, the next floor. We have a bedside cabinet ready. We have some curtains, 3 curtains, and we have another plant, which can't really see if I put it all the way back there. So that's what we did today. So we did quite a bit. So tomorrow we will finish off the 2nd and 3rd floor of I guess it's 2nd and 3rd floor. It looks like the 2nd and 3rd floor of this building, so that the youth photo studio, have to really think about this, building combination number 2 basically will be finished, and then we can move on to building 3, which is going to be the grocery store. So let's see how much we get done tomorrow. I'm trying not for the videos to be as long as it was yesterday, so hopefully there is enough for you to get an idea. This is really frayed, hasn't it? Gosh, I need to trim that. Anyway, that's what we have for today. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope that you are finding it interesting, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Do like and subscribe, and that way you'll get notified when I publish the next stage. And most of all though, do take care of yourself. That's the most important thing. Take care. Bye.